Good morning. Good morning. I have to start walking again today. And I think it's going to be an 8 hour day. I'm waiting for like some further instructions. Like I'm going to be launching the group today, y'all. This is kind of exciting because I am being considered for a promotion. I love this. This is so great. So I get to do the role play, do the chants, Se puede? Si se puede. I'm gonna get to kick everything off, and these are experienced canvassers. I'm not gonna have to do much. Because they know what they're doing. They know the issues. They know the petitions. So this is a good role for me because it's gonna be a little easier on my joints. It's gonna be a little bit easier on my joints because I need to be available to them. I need to be able to support them. But I'm not going to have to do as much terrain as I normally do, which is wonderful because my joints hurt so bad. I have to take some Tylenol before I do this. So I'm watching back that the stuff the stuff I've been saying about Nomiki and how she did this. She was involved in a hit campaign early in my volunteer experience. It was like one of my earliest volunteer experiences was donating to Arturo Carmona, and then having Masha Mendieta, Lauren Steiner, and Nomiki Konst and several other people like absolutely tank his chances, right? And then we ended up with Jimmy Gomez in the seat. I'm not saying Jimmy's like a bad person or anything. I'm just saying that he was not the progressive running. Arturo was the progressive running, and for whatever reason they tanked him. But there's a point where she's going over Masha's medium piece. This is so wild to me too that like y'all picked that up. You picked that up. It was a medium piece. You picked that up, right? I wrote my story. It didn't get picked up. It did not get picked up. But okay, so here's the common thread, right? Every time they do this bullshit, it's like right before the election. That's exactly what Rose McGowan did to Gavin Newsom and his wife, right? It was a similar timeline. It was a similar timeline where it happened like just a few days before the recall election. Fortunately, she was not successful because she's so apparently like obviously crazy, right? People don't buy into her bullshit because she's so out there that it's like really obvious. Whereas, because she's an actress and so she's been more visible. So people have more to work with on like understanding Rose's personality and how nuts she is. Whereas Masha, just like nobody had heard of her except for the activists who like had worked on the 2016 campaign. So only those people had known of her. And for whatever reason, they were aware of, or they claimed to be aware of, sexual harassment, misogyny that was going on in the campaign, but they refused to do anything about it. They held it in their back pocket to drop it in a situation where they basically got an establishment candidate in. And Kenneth Mejia totally helped them do that. Like the people who were circulating that stuff were mostly his supporters. But what's interesting, okay, so if you go back and you look at like that Medium article that she was reading an excerpt from Masha's article. Nomiki, did you not at some point while you're reading that wonder why Masha dropped in a reference to Sharia law? Did that not like ring a bell for you at all? Did that not ring a bell for you? Because that is a very stereotypical way to be bigoted towards Muslims is to criticize Sharia law, right? And to make comparisons to Sharia law. That's almost, it's almost as blatant as making the Nazi reference. Um, but it is an indicator that somebody is anti-Muslim if they are making references like that. It didn't occur to you while you were reading this article that that might be somewhat problematic. I can't even, dude. She's supposedly like a political expert who gets called on to Fox News as a correspondent, and she didn't pick up on that. You didn't find that somewhat eyebrow raising? You didn't find that a little bit eyebrow raising that she made a comparison to Sharia law? That is like this. That is such a stereotypical anti-Muslim reference to do that. Wow. Oh my God, even like, and yeah, she dragged me. She dragged me on Twitter. Gave her, at least this time she didn't drag me. This time she just blocked me. I guess, 5 years in, she's a little bit more fearful that I might actually like be able to defend myself even better than I did back then, which I defended myself quite well. But it was a former account. So the reason I got rid of that account was, I had to shut it down because I was in the middle of a lawsuit with a former employer, and we were in the process of like reaching a settlement. So I had to shut down the account because I didn't want, any of my political opinions to be apparent, or, be able to have them like find like my political opinions and try and smear me while I was going through this like depositions and stuff to get this settlement. That's why I don't have that account anymore. But yeah, she dragged me, and it was like that. That was one of the first times. No, it wasn't. It was not the first time. The first time was when one of these Russian bots picked up one of my tweets and started like repeating it. Those are the only two times that I have had my phone buzzing all night with notifications. Only two times. Okay, so yeah, you seriously you didn't find that a little strange that she made a comparison to Sharia law?